Francis Ngannou was born and raised in the village of Beatty, Cameroon. He lived in poverty and had little formal education growing up. Ngannou's parents divorced when he was 6 years old, and he was sent to live with his aunt. At 10 years old, Ngannou started working in a sand quarry in Beatty because of a lack of funds. As a youngster, he was approached by several gangs in his village to join them. However, Ngannou refused and instead decided to use his father's negative reputation as a street fighter as motivation to do something positive and pursue boxing. At age 22, Ngannou began training in boxing, despite the initial reluctance of his family. After training for a year, Ngannou stopped training due to an illness. He did various odd jobs to make ends meet, until age 26 when he decided to head to Paris, France, to pursue professional boxing. However, upon reaching Europe, he was jailed for 2 months in Spain for illegally crossing the border. After he reached Paris, he had no money, no friends, and no place to live. After living homeless on the streets of Paris, Ngannou found his way to a boxing club where he met coach Didier Carmont, who was understanding towards his situation. Carmont convinced the gym to let him train at no cost and introduced Ngannou to the sport of MMA. Additionally, Ngannou became a volunteer at Le Corba, a non-profit organization in Paris. When his boxing gym closed for the summer, Le Corba's director Kater Yinbu introduced Ngannou to Fernand Lopez in the MMA factory. Being a fan of Mike Tyson, Ngannou was originally interested in learning how to box, but Lopez saw his potential in MMA and convinced him to try MMA instead. Lopez gave Ngannou some MMA gear and allowed him to train and sleep at the gym for no cost, thus starting Ngannou's MMA career. His professional mixed martial arts career. Ngannou started his MMA career in November 2013 and fought mostly in the French promotion 100% Fight, as well as other regional promotions in Europe. He compiled a record of 5-1 before signing with the UFC. Ngannou made his UFC debut against fellow newcomer Luis Enrique on December 19, 2015, at UFC on Fox 17. He won the fight via knockout in the second round. Ngannou next faced UFC newcomer Curtis Blades on April 10, 2016, at UFC Fight Night 86. He won the fight via TKO due to doctor stoppage at the end of the second round. In his next bout, Ngannou faced another newcomer in Bojan Mihajlovic on July 23, 2016, at UFC on Fox 20. He won the fight via TKO in the first round. Ngannou then faced Anthony Hamilton on December 9, 2016, at UFC Fight Night 102. He won the fight by submission in the first round and earned his first UFC performance of the night bonus. Ngannou faced Andrei Arlovsky on January 28, 2017, at UFC on Fox 23. He won the fight via TKO in the first round. The win also earned Ngannou his second performance of the night bonus. Ngannou was expected to face Junior Dos Santos on September 9, 2017, at UFC 215. However, on August 18, Dos Santos was pulled from the match after being notified of a potential USADA violation. In turn, Ngannou was removed from the card after promotion officials deemed that a suitable opponent could not be arranged. In 2017, he set the world record for the hardest punch ever recorded on the Power Cuba at 129,161 Franklin, a unit used by the Power Cuba that combines power and energy. In the highest profile fight of his career, Ngannou faced veteran Alistair Overeem on December 2, 2017, at UFC 218. He won the fight via knockout in the first round. This knockout has been labeled as one of the greatest and most brutal knockouts of all time. Following the bout, Ngannou signed a new 8-fight contract with the UFC. Ngannou faced Stipe Miocic for the UFC Heavyweight Championship on January 20, 2018, at UFC 220. He lost the fight via unanimous decision. Ngannou faced Derek Lewis on July 7, 2018, at UFC 226. He lost the fight via unanimous decision. The fight was heavily criticized by the media and the fans for the lack of offense from both competitors and was labeled as a snooze fest. Ngannou faced Curtis Blades in a rematch on November 24, 2018. In the main event at UFC Fight Night 141, he won the fight via TKO early into the first round. The win also earned him a performance of the night bonus. Ngannou headlined the UFC's inaugural event on ESPN, UFC on ESPN won against Cain Velasquez on February 17, 2019. He won via knockout in the first round. Ngannou faced Junior Dos Santos on June 29, 2019, at UFC on ESPN 3. He won the fight via technical knockout in the first round. This fight earned him the Performance of the Night award. Ngannou was scheduled to face Jairzinho Rozenstruik on March 28, 2020, at UFC on ESPN. Ngannou vs. Rozenstruik. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the event was eventually postponed. The pair was rescheduled to meet at April 18, 2020, at UFC 249. However, on April 9, Dana White, the president of the UFC, announced that the event was postponed and the bout eventually took place on May 9, 2020. Ngannou won via knockout just 20 seconds into the first round. This win earned him the Performance of the Night award. A rematch of the bout between Miocic and Ngannou for the UFC Heavyweight Championship took place on March 27, 2021, at UFC 260. Ngannou won via knockout in the second round. This win earned him the Performance of the Night award. Ngannou faced the interim UFC Heavyweight Champion Cyril Gane for his first title defense on January 22, 2022, at UFC 270. He injured knee ligaments 3.5 weeks before the fight. Ngannou won the fight by unanimous decision, the first decision win of his career. On January 14, 2023, the UFC Heavyweight Championship was stripped from Ngannou after he and the UFC could not come to terms on a new contract. Ngannou's contract expired in mid-December, and after the two parties couldn't reach an agreement, the UFC waived its one-year matching rights clause, making Ngannou an unrestricted free agent. In an interview with Ariel Helwani, Ngannou stated that he had requested health insurance, the ability to have sponsorships for all UFC fighters, and to have a fighter advocate present during all fighter contract negotiations. When his requests were denied, Ngannou chose not to re-sign with the UFC, making him the first reigning champion to leave the UFC since BJ Penn in 2004. After Ngannou's departure from the UFC, he openly admitted to wanting to start a boxing career and targeted boxing matches with both Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. On May 16, 2023, it was announced that Ngannou had signed a multi-fight deal with the Professional Fighters League. He will be competing in their pay-per-view, super fight division, while still being free to compete in other sports such as boxing. Ngannou also negotiated on behalf of his opponents, guaranteeing them to be paid at least $2 million. He will also be a part of PFL's Global Advisory Board, meant to advocate for fighters' interests, and an equity owner and chairman of the upcoming PFL Africa League. Ngannou's PFL contract has been called a historic moment for the sport, with Daniel Cormier saying it sets a new standard for what is out there in the MMA free agent market. John S. Nash of Bloody Elbow and Alex Paddle of The Independent each referred to a different aspect of the deal as unprecedented. On February 22, 2024, it was announced that Ngannou would make his MMA return against the winner of Renan Ferreira vs. Ryan Bader heavyweight bout at PFL vs. Bellator on February 24, 2024 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. About his professional boxing career, Ngannou took on the undefeated WBC and lineal heavyweight champion Tyson Fury in a professional boxing match billed as Battle of the Baddest on October 28, 2023 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Ngannou was able to knock down Fury in the third round, taking the fight all the way to the scorecards, in which the judges awarded Fury the victory in a controversial split decision, 95-94, 96-93, 94-95. According to CompuBox, Fury outlanded Ngannou 71-59 in total punches, while Ngannou outlanded Fury 37-32 in power punches. As a result of his strong performance against Fury, Ngannou was ranked number 10 by the WBC. Mauricio Suleiman, president of the WBC, said, "The ranking of Ngannou was perfectly supported by the WBC rules, which is clear in the criteria from rankings that we consider the activity of the fighter in other contact sports." Ngannou faced Anthony Joshua on March 8, 2024 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and lost by second-round knockout. About his personal life, Ngannou speaks Njemba, French, and English. He learned English after joining the UFC. On April 29, 2024, Ngannou announced that his 15-month-old son Kobe had died. The cause of death was not made public. That's all we have for you today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.